I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Tuesday, good afternoon, and welcome. This is the Bottom Line, live from Big 12 Media Days in Frisco here at the Star. Our Big 12 Media Days coverage presented by Accurate Air. Alongside Jamie Lint, I'm Chois Woodman. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score. Also on Double T 97.3 today. Double T 97.3 mobile app. Your regular ways to watch us, as you can see us from Media Days on YouTube, Fox 34 News Now. However you're joining us, we're glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Tuesday afternoon. So we'll bring you coverage all afternoon long here from Frisco. As if you've been tuned in to our shows today, you've heard a variety of voices on, including Joey McGuire this morning and Cole Wisniewski, preseason offensive player of the year, Sam Levitt from Arizona State. We've got more interviews to come. So we'll take your thoughts, your comments, your questions. Bring them all in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that Double T 97.3 or 100.7 The Score mobile app. Jamie Lint to my left. I'm Chois Woodman. What's up, Jamie?
As far as Big 12 Media Days go, Choice, I don't feel like there's a lot of drama
Not yet.
this year.
Mike Gundy hadn't walked through the door. That's tomorrow. So.
Or Deion Sanders. So, last year, obviously, you had new teams. The year before, you had new teams.
Right.
It just feels like everything's settled in. We've talked in recent weeks about what would be the conversations, what would the stories be about, what would be the main topics. And I think we feel like the Red Raiders and what they've done through the transfer portal would be one of those topics. But it's not something I hear a lot of people necessarily talking about as far as the, tech and the transfer portal part of it goes. But
Sure.
I do think people are talking about the Red Raiders as, hey, this is a team that's really loaded and could be really good.
I think as I've walked around a little bit today, it's probably the most I've heard Texas Tech brought up at a media days among, different teams, sports stations, and those sorts of things. And I think it's just a curiosity thing out of anything. Can Texas Tech, the biggest question posed is, can Texas Tech turn all of your off-season hype into wins on the football field? And I think there's people that are skeptical because you have never played in a game in a Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, that's non-Texas Tech fans, and that is Texas Tech fans.
Yeah, so I think there's probably more buzz around the Red Raiders, but not, an excessive amount. We've heard from Brett Yormark at the podium, Joey McGuire. You heard just a little bit ago on 100.7 The Score as he was at the podium. We'll get into some of the comments from those guys as we roll along today as well. But, I think I agree with your assessment. It doesn't seem like there's as much, just what's going on around here type of thing. It feels like teams have settled in. First Big 12 Media Days we've had in the last 3 years that you haven't had a lot of newness, whether it's new teams in, OU or Texas exiting, or Brett Yormark. I mean, this is his third Big 12 Media Days because he was new a couple of them ago. So, I think it is.
And you have how many new coaches? Just one?
Is that right? Scott Frost?
That it?
Also,
West
Rich
Virginia.
Rod.
Oh, yes,
West
Rich
Rod.
Rod. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, Clint? Voice
much.
out of the sky here?
Yeah, I'm just the voice from the rafters there in
There we
Frisco,
go.
which is
There we go.
haunting.
This is my first trip to the do they call it the Ford Center or the Star?
I think everybody
Both.
calls it the Star.
It's the Star,
until
right?
Ford came along and sponsored it.
Okay. Well, either way. We're here at the Star, and this is my first trip here. It's a nice facility. It's a I can't imagine playing. I told
Did
you
you
this
think
yesterday.
anything that the Dallas Cowboys had was
Of
not going
course
to be a
not.
nice facility?
I mean, it's Jerry Jones, so
Okay.
of course it's going to be very, very posh and very nice. And for an indoor, the purpose of this thing is an indoor practice facility, right? Isn't that what they built it for? And
so when the weather's bad, they can practice indoors, or it's hot.
It's probably the nicest indoor practice facility in the country, I would guess. But yeah, I can't. I mean, I told you this yesterday or this morning. It's already been a long day. I can't imagine playing high school games in here. Like as a high school kid playing an indoor facility like this, it's pretty cool. But
it's very cool.
Yeah, it's not Vegas though, Jamie.
Which is great choice.
There seem to be mixed feelings on that as from people I've talked to, and
including Coach McGuire's wife.
I know.
Coach McGuire's wife.
I know. She was so disappointed.
Yes.
She might be the only person more disappointed than me.
Yeah, she basically told me that her and I were the exact opposite person.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what her words.
There's no question. I think Coach McGuire likes having it here in Texas again.
Sure.
But she's like, oh, man, Vegas was so fun last year. I'm like, you and me both. No, but it is it's a new day.
The funny part about it, Choice, I think there's less media members here
than last time?
Than in Vegas. I think there were more in Vegas.
I think people use this as an excuse to go to Vegas. I think you're probably right on that. I don't know. You still have one of the Metroplex teams, I guess your only true Metroplex team. TCU's not here today. OSU usually brings the circus with them. Colorado definitely brings the circus with them. So I think it does feel like you're kind of slotted on the day that's not as dramatic in terms of teams and coaches.
That's fair enough. But you've got Arizona State, who won the conference last year.
Sure.
You've got BYU, Texas Tech, Baylor, who are picked to finish near the top, right? Yeah.
And I think as far as storylines going into it, and I'll run through Shehan Jaraj's at CBS Sports. He went through the storylines, the biggest storylines for each team in the Big 12 going into media days. So we'll go through some of those and see if you agree or disagree on that list. But the biggest storyline coming into this whole thing is a team that's here. It had to be the Jake Retzlaff news. But that still really hasn't been a big deal. When Kalani Sitake was at the podium earlier, he did exactly as you would expect and kind of dismissed it. Just said, well, I mean, he was asked, okay, what are you going to do at quarterback this year? What's the plan? And he did exactly what the coach speak you'd probably expect, saying, well, there's competition at every position, and went into the. We got a lot of guys. If you wouldn't be at BYU if you couldn't throw the ball well, so he gave a coach speak answer, and I don't really think I've heard a whole lot beyond that when it comes to Retzlaff. So it'll still be a story, obviously, going into the season, but not a lot of drama surrounding this particular media days. Doesn't mean we won't have good interviews, because we will have plenty of those. Expecting to visit with Behren Morton probably a little bit later in this hour. We will visit with an array of other Red Raiders. Coach McGuire said Lee Hunter might be the best interview you get, so we'll hear from him.
Yeah, Cole Wisniewski said he was one of the funniest guys on the team, too.
He did say that. So
yeah, maybe we should interview him at 1:45 and have him do the dad joke of the day.
Okay, I'm more than happy to give the floor to him if he wants to give us a little comedy show. I hope he's just. Thanks, Clint.
Yeah.
I just hope he just turns the funny off and wants to run people over, quarterbacks in particular, during the year. It is the bottom line. We're hanging with you till 3 o'clock from Frisco here on Double T 97.3 and 100.7. The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon from Frisco. He's Jamie Lent. I'm Chois Woodman. This is The Bottom Line. Our coverage from Big 12 Media Days in Frisco here on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score. We'll continue to get some interviews, talk to some Texas Tech players, including the quarterback, Behren Morton, coming up shortly. Y'all can continue to chime in with your thoughts, comments, questions on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Really important stuff to get to, though, Jamie. Did you see Cinnamon Toast Crunch just debuted their bacon-flavored cereal?
I did not see that.
Would you give this a run?
Bacon-flavored cereal. I would try a bite.
It's savory and sweet.
It doesn't sound as good as Cinnamon Toast Crunch, though.
Is that one of your favorite cereals?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's high on the list, and bacon-flavored cereal just doesn't sound right.
I think I'm in.
I would try it.
Yeah, I'm going to try it.
Well, how do they get the bacon flavor on there? I mean, is it just like liquid smoke and salt, or is it just like, hey, we coated it in bacon grease and then put on cinnamon and sugar?
So Hormel actually debuted cinnamon-flavored bacon with Cinnamon Toast Crunch last year, which I never knew and I would have tried. Now they are going the other direction. So I don't think they're putting like bacon bits on this. It's just artificial bacon flavor, like a bacon salt, I guess.
Cinnamon-flavored bacon, you said?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to try that.
I think that would be pretty good. Yeah. I mean, you could overdo it, but some sweet bacon, I can get on board. Okay. More important stuff, Jamie. Did you happen to see Shehan Jaraja's
jacket?
I think, well, oh my gosh. That is a jacket. He just happened to be walking in front of us, and I didn't even know.
It's navy blue, and it has got gold swirls in it.
I guess he got a big bonus for that article he wrote the other day.
Looks like he could be the drum major in the Grambling band, if it was their colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the flair it has to it.
I could see all that. He
Yep.
also looks like he could be rich tycoon or chic, because that is flashy.
Yeah, he definitely looks like someone that owns a yacht.
So Shehan, anyway, I'm always not good with his name, but I think I got it right this time. We'll see. He wrote an article a couple days ago of just the biggest storyline for each team going into the Big 12 Media Days here, and the biggest question. So I'm going to roll through these, and if you've got one you think is a bigger story, you bring it up. Arizona. What does a Brent Brennan program look like?
Yeah, number one for me was does Brent Brennan survive the season?
Yep, I think I'm with you on that one. How does Arizona State handle being hunted?
I would have gone, how do they handle life without Cam Scatterbo?
I think I'm 2 for 2 with you. Yeah, I lean towards yours. I do think that this is different. And, heck, Sam Levitt brought it up several times. He mentioned, obviously, that was a huge part of last year. And no media poll is interesting because he mentioned 3 or 4 times during the interview on the end of the bench that they were picked 16th last year. So it's obvious that was a big bulletin board material for them last year. Baylor, can Sawyer Robertson be the Big 12's top quarterback?
I would have gone something with Robertson and a really explosive offense. They return a good running back. They've got a good receiver. Looks like it could be one of the best offenses in the Big 12. So I may have gone something like, can Robertson and the offense carry Baylor to, to the expectations that they have, which are similar to where the Red Raiders are.
I think they're right there in those conversations for sure. Yeah, I think that or the other one I would have brought for Baylor.
Isn't that crazy, though? I mean, that we're talking about Baylor being, in the conversation right now. And, I mean, halfway through last year, before we played them, you didn't know if Baylor, if Aranda was going to keep his job.
There were people calling for his head when they were headed to Lubbock.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we saved him.
Feel so good about it. I think the other one would have been can they get off to a faster start? They started horribly last year. So if they want to play in the Big 12 championship game, they have to be better early in the season.
They don't have us
were.
to kickstart them this year.
That's right. Take that, Baylor. BYU's how do the Cougars survive post-Jake Retzlaff world? That's the layup. I like the UCF one. What's the plan here?
What are we doing?
Scott Frost, I mean, second time around, obviously. It's, for me, can you recreate the magic?
Yeah, no, I think it's all about Scott Frost.
Yep. Cincinnati, who just left the podium, Scott Satterfield did, is can Cincinnati clean up late-game issues? They were one of those teams that played a ton of close games last year and lost a bunch of close games. So I think that's a fair one.
I would have gone something to the effect of, can they play the second half like they did the first half of the season, where they looked like a good football team?
Sure. Sure.
Well, weren't they at 5-3 at one point and ended up 5-7?
I think they came to Lubbock 4-1. Yeah. Yeah, they were 5-2, Jamie. They were 5-2 and lost the last 6. How many games is that? 5. Maths. Gosh, it's always getting me. All right, Colorado's. This is Shehan Jaraj's storylines heading into Big 12 Media Days, or biggest questions.
Life without Travis and Shador.
Yeah, how does Coach Prime handle the quarterback situation is what he went with. So I probably would have included Travis Hunter, not just Shador.
Seems like he was pretty important to them.
Houston, will Connor Wegman have weapons to work with?
Yeah, I probably would have gone more the UCF route with what are we doing here?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Throw your hands up. I do think Willie Fritz.
Is there any life here?
I think he moved them at least a touch in the right direction last year.
And part of that was a really good defense.
Well.
And he lost his coordinator.
He did. Iowa State's. Can Iowa State replace its stacked receiving core? That's a big question for them.
Yep, because they lost a couple of really good ones. I would just say, can Iowa State continue to be one of, stay right there at the top where they were last year?
This is a place where you kind of have to look around before you say things. I just about said, I'm really not buying in on Rocco Becht.
He
just walking by us literally at that moment. I'm one that I don't put Rocco Becht necessarily in that top shelf of quarterbacks in the Big 12 because I think he was able to lean on receivers so much last year, and I don't think you're going to see him take a step forward.
I guess I ask you, how big is the shelf? How many people can fit on this shelf of yours?
I think you're probably 5 or 6. So I wouldn't put him necessarily in the top 5 or 6 like a lot of people would.
Put him right there on the edge of
it's probably. I'm not saying
6,
he's
7.
way down the list, but I think he had a ton of help from fantastic receiving last year. Kansas, how is Jalen Daniels' headspace doing?
That's fair.
Perfect question.
Which guy can he be?
Oh man, that's Well, you getting Jekyll or are you getting Hyde with Avery? Yeah. Not Avery, with Jalen Daniels.
I enjoyed the first half, Jalen, a lot more.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. None.
I kind of like him as a player. I think he's exciting to watch.
Oh, sure he is.
He's explosive, and it feels like the kind of guy, when he's right, that is what NFL teams are looking for.
He's as good as it gets in the Big 12 when he's on, but he has also got a low floor. Kansas State, has Avery Johnson taken the next step?
I mean, can he just be more consistent?
Yeah. Yeah,
we've seen a high ceiling from him, but in Lubbock, as a matter of fact.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but can he just be consistent?
Okay, Oklahoma State says, how is Mike Gundy handling the pressure?
Yeah.
My question for him is, does Mike Gundy still want to be there? Like, is he if he
didn't want to be there, why would he still be there?
Get more money on the way out the door? Get one more year's worth of money?
He do pay us the money.
There we go. TCU, does Josh Hoover have the supporting cast to be great? Okay.
Yeah.
Utah's is, can Devin Dampier fix the offense?
Yep.
It was broken last year.
Yep. Can he make that much of a difference?
West Virginia, another one of the what the heck should we expect?
Yeah.
I like those. I mean, Rich Rod 2.0. Same question as Scott Frost.
Mm-hmm.
And then. So both of the 2 new coaches we have are just retreads that they're saying?
That is true.
I didn't. I guess I'd known it. I just didn't do it. And then Texas Tech's, I think, is spot on. Are the Red Raiders ready for the moment? Can you live up to the hype?
Yeah. Can you finally push yourself past where you have been? Get into the upper echelon.
Tell us your biggest questions, storylines. Pose them there on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get back to some more of that coming up shortly. Get into Brett Yormark's comments, the doubling down stuff. We continue live from Frisco. Big 12 Media Days coverage presented by Accurate Air. It's the bottom line on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
And we're back here in Frisco, live from Big 12 Media Days on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score. With Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. We are thrilled to be joined by QB number 1 for Texas Tech, Behren Morton. He was getting harassed by a Jayhawk, too.
He was getting after me.
If you would have punched him, I think everybody would have understood.
Yes.
That would have been
I don't know what it is, Choice. Everywhere we go, there's Jayhawks. Way too many.
They're quite annoying, but that's okay. Hopefully the Red Raiders can take care of them on the football field this year. Behren, obviously the big storyline for you was the shoulder surgery going into the offseason. How's everything feeling?
Man, I've not felt this good since freshman year of college. I can fully 100% say that. It's been good, though. You know, I've needed the surgery. I needed to get it done. It was perfect time to get it done. I'm glad I got it done at the time I did. Hate to miss the bowl game, but
sure.
To be back healthy, I've been 100% the last 3 weeks. Just got back from the Manning Passing Academy. We were throwing over 100 balls every day, so I probably threw in the total of 5 days close to 700 balls. So I'm feeling really good, and I'm glad to be healthy. This is the strongest I've ever been, and, you know, I'm glad I got it done.
So when you were sitting back watching the rest of your teammates work through spring football, some of your wide receivers also weren't out there. But overall, when you look at it, you have to be excited about the weapons that you have. How exciting is it for you to see what you guys have to use now?
Man, yeah, we have all the talent in the world. You know, it's just time to go do it now. And, you know, that's what Coach McGuire's kind of been preaching to the team, and me as well. You know, we got all the intangibles. We got what we need, so let's go do it. And, you know, why not us? You know, that's kind of been the motto this summer. I texted Coach McGuire right before we started summer workouts in June. I said, Coach, our motto this summer is to be why not us? You know, we're here. We're in the position that we need to be in. So, you know, why not us? And so to, you know, have, you know, Reggie Virgil, man, that dude's a freak. You know, bringing back Caleb Douglas. You know, Coy Aikens moving to the slot. I think that's going to be really good with all the vertical choice that we do. You know, we just got to, I mean, all the guys up front, you know, Howard Sampson, I mean, 6'9", 330 pounds. I mean, that's a big human. Yes. So we got some mature, grown men in the facility, and, you know, I'm really excited about this season.
So, obviously, you got a new offense to work with. Mac Leftwich comes in. Zach Kitley posted really good numbers the last few seasons, and he gets a head coaching job at FAU. What's different? What do you like about the Mac Leftwich offense?
Man, it's explosive. Like I said, it's a lot of vertical choice. So, you know, Caleb Douglas, he should never be covered. You know, he has the option if the corner's bailing, he's going to shut it down. But, you know, Coach Leftwich and the offense that he brings to Texas Tech is very explosive. You know, he's gotten to coach Cam Ward. I mean, first overall pick in the draft last year. Yep. So, you know, the explosiveness and, you know, how we can move the ball and how we can advance it and how explosive we're going to be this year, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Like in recent years, you guys have used the tight end more as a blocker than you have as a receiver to help out the offensive line. With the improved offensive line, do you think you'll be able to use your tight ends a little bit more this year?
Yes, sir, for sure. Terrence Carter is man, we got to steal with that one. He is a freak. Dude's a ball player. He's going to catch a lot of passes from me. He's going to have a lot of yards, but he's also very physical in the run game. And we're also bringing back John Carlos Miller. He's tremendous in the run game, play action, anything. You know, we're very, very multiple now, but we're also going to have that air raid, split out the tight end out wide, run switch first with them. You know, we're not going to be scared to use them.
The last couple of games of last season for you, it just seemed like there was something different. You slung it around quite a bit, put up over 50 points against Oklahoma State and West Virginia. Obviously, the Taj record was behind. Was that just an opportunity to kind of open it up and throw it a little bit more?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I kind of knew I was getting the surgery, and, you know, towards the end of the year, you know, we lost a game that we shouldn't have lost to in Fort Worth, and, you know, it was kind of at the point where it was like, you know, let's just go out there and play ball. And, you know, Coach Keatley and I kind of said, you know, we're going to throw the ball 50 times, and we're going to get back to the air raid and what we know best. And, we did, and it was a lot of fun. I've had some very valuable moments at Texas Tech and, with Coach Kitley, and I'm really excited about, this new offense that we're bringing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The expectations for this team are different than they've been in years past. How do you think this team will handle that?
Man, I think this team is going to handle it the mature way. And, my dad told me when I was little, pressure and just creates opportunity. So, what we have a lot of pressure. We have a target on our back, good. We got an opportunity to be a really good football team. We're going to win a lot of games. We're going to win the Big 12, and then we're going to have a playoff game after that. And, after that, we're a team that's going to be confident. We're not walking on eggshells this year. We're coming in the Big 12 with a chip on our shoulder that this is our conference. We run this place.
So offensive line has been a topic for every season, seemingly the last few years of, okay, are you getting better there? Are you getting better there? I know a quarterback's job is to talk up his offensive line.
That's right.
But do you truly believe that this is the best one you've had in front of you since you've been here?
I do, 100%. I can fully say that. Coach Clay McGuire has done a tremendous job with all the athletes that we've gotten from the portal, and maturing the kids like Jacob Ponton from being a kid that's a freshman, thrown in the Arkansas game. Just him elevating his game because he's seeing Howard Sampson the way he works, and Hunter Zambrano and Will Jados. They're seeing guys that have played a lot of snaps, a lot of college football coming in, and they're seeing these are how mature guys are handling the situations, and so I got to handle situations like that. So it's been really beneficial to have mature guys.
How impressive is it to see the kind of depth and skill that you have on the defensive side of the ball this year?
I think that's what's going to take us to the next level this year, is just having that depth of the maturity, like I said, on both sides of the ball. I mean, Lee Hunter and Romello Heights, those guys have played countless snaps, big college football. And so just having that depth of, when the ones are out and the twos are rolling in, those are fresh legs, and those guys are going to get after it just like the ones did.
Yeah, that seems like you've just got a lot more help around you where you don't have to do everything yourself as a quarterback. Does that free things up for you?
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. Especially in a new offense too. It's really helpful to have weapons around you and to have a defense like we have this year, and also in practice. It's just going to make us that much better in practice. And so, week one when we see Arkansas Pine Bluff, we're ready to already hit some different people.
Replacing a legend, Todd Brooks, you guys are in the backfield. What do you think of the newcomers?
Man, Quentin Joyner's been great. Kobe Williams, all Cam Dickey. Those guys are legit dudes. They're guys that can play anywhere in the P4 conference, and we have 3 in one room. So it's been great for Coach Garrett McGuire to get a hold of a good group, and he's done a great job. He's been with the Panthers in Lincoln and Nebraska, so he's seen some talented dudes. So. I'm really fired about this season. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, what's your rating in the new college football game, and what should it be?
87. It should be a 90, 97.
Okay.
The speed is a little too high for what it is, but I'm gonna get it up this year for sure.
Okay. We're expecting it when this the new update comes out.
That's right.
We'll see a bigger one for you. So you've got. So, obviously, expectations, pressure, there's all these words floating around the Tech football program this year. In your words, this season is a success if what?
Man, we're going to win the Big 12, and, that's kind of been the talk around the facility of, taking it one game at a time because, this conference is, you're never going to see what you're going to see each week. Yeah. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very competitive. But we're having a chip on our shoulder, and we're going to win the Big 12. And once we win the Big 12, we're going to be playing the playoff game. And, we're going to see where it takes us from there. But, I have fully confidence of this team and the way that the facility is handling itself and the guys on the team, just the creative bond that we have now. I've never felt this like I have at Tech.
That's really cool to have those expectations, and it feels like you guys are embracing them.
Yes, sir, for sure. Yeah, you have to. Being in the role that we are, with all the talent that we have on the roster, there's not a doubt in our mind that we're going to go out there and win a lot of football games.
Well, Behren, great stuff, man. We can't wait to see you sling it around this year and hopefully win a lot of football games.
Yes, sir, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. That's Behren Morton here on our coverage of Big 12 Media Days from Frisco. Y'all stay with us. We will continue to get to more of your thoughts, comments, questions from the Yates Flooring Center chat line and bring you more coverage as we roll along here on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back here live from Big 12 Media Days in Frisco. Alongside Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. It's the Bottom Line here on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score. And we're glad to be joined by a guy they call QB Hunter, Mr. Lee Hunter from Texas Tech's defensive line. And Lee, we've heard a lot of things about you. This is our first chance to get to visit with you. But, you've been deemed as the funniest player on the team. Coach McGuire said you got one of the best personalities on the team. So, we have high expectations just off the field for you.
Yeah, just be yourself all the time. Just be yourself.
So, Lee Hunter, you're part of a massive transfer portal class that has garnered a lot of attention in the offseason. What's it like being part of something that's got that much attention?
Like, I know it sounds crazy when I say it, but it's just a blessing, because it's not just the transfer part of the class. Like, when you come in and you meet the people, that will make it even better. So I just, like, the opportunity and situation that I got put in, I just thank God every day for it. So it's just a blessing, bro. I promise it's a blessing. But we got great teammates, great coaches, great facilities. It's just a great place to be in. I think Liberty is one of the hottest places to be in right now just because the people. Like, you can get a bunch of money, but you can be miserable with it.
Yeah, sure.
So if you got great people around you that can talk to you every day and keep you motivated, that's a blessing. And the situation I got put in, I just thank God for it.
With so many new guys together, how do you get that chemistry to be good?
Do stuff like we eat lunch, we eat breakfast after we work out. We might eat breakfast. J-Rod, Behren might call some people over to the house and chill. Sometimes you just get like I tell some of the D tackles in the D line room, like, you gotta get out your comfort zone. Like, I know I talk a lot of trash, but I'm also making sure my defensive tackles and orders good around me. Like,
right.
Make sure you ain't sad. Like, what you like to do in your fun time. Like, why you play football? Like, why you do this? You love your mama? Go harder. You feel me? Like, J-Rod made a quote that said, "Play football like it's your last rep, like it's your last time breathing." Like,
yeah.
So when I heard that rep, next day I went to work out and I went hard as I can. But I just thank God every day. I just think we're around some amazing people here at Liberty.
And it's got to help to have great leaders like J-Rod there with you guys to kind of welcome you all in, but also kind of push you guys to be the best.
A lot of people tell me I was a leader, but when I met J-Rod, he's an outstanding leader. Like, I'm a leader, but he is an outstanding leader. It's different. So I learned a lot from J-Rod still,
You've mentioned the family aspect, the teammates, and the love you share in Lubbock so far. Who have been those guys that you've kind of latched onto as teammates?
We were the defense side of the ball, like, every day, all day. So defense side of the ball, number personality, Behren, number personality, but offensive guys too, like CDs and offensive line DC and all them guys, coaches, but we bond very well. And it ain't fake, but when Saturdays come and the lights get turned on, people see that and understand, like, Liberty is a very special place to be right now. Like,
and we've had the privilege of being around Coach McGuire for the last 3 seasons or so and know how infectious his personality is. Yeah. What was your first interaction like with Coach McGuire?
I've been saying this line all day, like, Coach McGuire old but he young. Because it's like I don't think you can. It's another head coach can meet his standard. Like, when I call my mom when I got like a month in, like, my Coach McGuire wasn't faking, this him. my mom said, "That's why I told you to go there, son." Like, I felt it. Like, he himself every day, and that's hard to find.
Yeah,
it is.
It's hard to find. When you see Coach McGuire, what up, Big Lee? What's up, guys? Like, Coach McGuire, He one of a kind.
Yeah.
He one of a kind. I knew him for like 4 months, and it felt like I knew him for about 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
So I thank God for Coach McGuire. Is a little bit of a special place to be. There's some great guys and some great coaches in that building, and it's about football, but it's not. You got a situation or a problem going. All they open up to talk to you. My D-line coach, Coach Zarnell Finch, he's a great coach. He's crazy. Guess what? He's gonna get the best out you. He's a great coach. He's good at what he do.
And speaking of trying to get the best out of you guys have really high expectations with this team, higher than what we've really ever seen in Lubbock for Texas Tech. Is that something you guys welcome?
Yes, I won't even say it's a high expectation. I just say it's a standard that we need to put together and we need to meet before week 1 come. And I think we start building that standard. Like a defense, prime example, our standard is run to the ball effort. If you get 11 hats to the ball, that's scary. Offense turn on film that'll fear them. And I know that because I've been to programs before and we had hats to the ball and it was scary. So I won't even I just said we all meet that standard and come together, we'll get the outcome that we want.
Obviously, as a transfer, it's going to be a new defense for you, but it's a new defense for everybody under Coach Shieldwood as he makes his first trip to Lubbock or first time in Lubbock. What do you like about this defense? What about it's going to make you shine?
I won't just say what they're going to make me shine. I like defense because I feel like we got pieces to help us win and get what we need to be for the next level standpoint. But I just won't say me because I just know that if I do my job and I'm in my A gap and the linebacker in his B gap, that he might come to the A gap. If I'm in my gap, he might go to 0 So that's just how I look at it.
How much does it help with you having played in the Big 12 Conference to kind of know what to expect from other teams?
It helped me a lot tremendously. I know every head coach in here that I play against know my weaknesses and my strengths, so that just even make me work harder.
No doubt. So the thing that's probably been talked about this team the most in the offseason is the pass rush. We're expecting quite a pass rush. Now, I know you're an interior guy, but you've still been known to get home to the quarterback a little bit.
You got a Ramilo Height and a David Bailey rushing off the edge. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard. You got to pick your poisons, who you going to double team. But I ain't going to get into the pros and cons, but, yeah, that's how we're looking at it.
All right, so you sat here and told us before we started this interview that you can hoop some.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit about your basketball game. What do you kind of thrive at?
No, I'm getting around that three-pointer, and I'm going to show you the flick of my wrist and how I can shoot. See, most big guys want to get in the paint and back you down. Nah, I ain't too much trying to sweat for real. I'm going to get around this perimeter, and I'm finna shoot your lights out.
Knock down some threes.
Yeah.
Knock down some threes. Well,
I'm the fat Steph Curry.
Wait, say that again?
I'm the fat Steph Curry.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right, we're going to have to see this.
Yeah.
Hey, after football season, I mean, who knows? Coach McCaslin might have a spot there for you, so we might have to make that work.
When y'all come to Lubbock, we going to the gym.
Okay. Well, let's do it.
Let's make it happen. So we talked about this video game a little bit. I think that was off air, but what is your rating on the video game, and what should it be?
8 or 9, and it should be an 8 or 9 because I'm not good as I think I'm in. So
okay,
that's where it's
so humble. I like it.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So how often you play the game?
I play it every day.
Every day. Okay.
After workouts, and I play it every day like around 5. But since this college, I'm ready to get back home now.
Sure.
Get on this college, but yeah.
No doubt. So, Lee, you've got obviously you transfer from a place within the Big 12. Is that a weird thing that I know you won't see them till late in the season, but is it a strange thing to go across conference like that?
I won't say it's strange because like changes happen.
Sure.
Day in life from players, coaches, relationships.
It's not the same coach over there.
Throughout life, so you just got to adapt to it. I'm thankful, blessed. I got the opportunity to play football in Orlando. They gave me an opportunity to expand my growth and my football abilities. So, and I also got my degree from that place. So I always be an alumni, but I'm blessed. I'm at Texas Tech Red Raiders now, so I'm ready to wreck from UCF Knights.
I like it. So the humidity You like the dry heat or the humidity more that comes with Orlando?
Orlando hot. People don't understand. That place is hot.
Yeah.
That place
Oh, it is.
hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
And you're going to find out Lubbock, it's windy. And
Yep.
it
Be a
gets
little
cold
windy.
and windy.
You might have some sun out in Lubbock with the wind blowing. That's a plus for me.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay.
Orlando, you just hot. The sun right here in your face. Ain't no wind blowing.
Well, that's Lee QB Hunter. We will hear a lot of his name coming up this season as the Red Raiders get ready to open the season on August 30th against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Lee, appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely. It's Lee Hunter, part of our Big 12 Media Days coverage here in Frisco. We'll roll on with more of the bottom line coming up on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back here live from the Star in Frisco. It is our coverage of Big 12 Media Days, the bottom line here on Double T 97.3 and 100.7 The Score. Choice Woodman, Jamie Lint with you. Great interview there with Lee Hunter, a.k.a. the Fat Steph Curry.
There are, excuse me, a lot of interviews going on, a lot of words being spoken, a lot of talking going on, Choice. And I challenge anyone to come up with a better quote than I am the Fat Steph Curry.
Man, you get your favorite players at your favorite teams. He is elevated very high on my list this year. Lee Hunter will be a guy I root extra hard for this season. Well, I mean, I'm going to root for him anyway. I want him to get to the quarterback, but he was a joy to be around.
Did anybody else think, Clint, I need your help here, that he sounded just like the guy that Clint plays when he said he paid us the money?
The freshman from Maryland last year.
Can you play that for us,
Yeah, hold
Clint?
on.
It's
He do pay us the money.
there's some similarities.
I think it sounds
He
a
sounds
lot
like an older version of him.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
a older, more mature version.
More mature.
A senior version of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, let's go ahead and get to Jamie's question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, so I think this one will change as we go along in the football season.
Okay.
Maybe week to week, we could probably ask or answer this question. All right, but my question today, right now, is the strength of the Red Raider football team will be, and the weakness of the Red Raider football team will be.
That's a good question because going into the season, I'm with you. I'm sure this answer is going to change. I think going into the season, are you looking for a position group or just can be anything?
Be anything.
Open-ended question.
Yeah, I can.
This is going to be as cliche of an answer as possible, Jamie, but I think I believe it by just a little bit we've been around it. I think the strength of this team is experience and leadership. I think you have some legitimate older guys on this team, and that's part of the transfer part, but I think you have some very mature older guys on this team that have been there, whether it's at Texas Tech or another location, and have some skins on the wall. But I think one of the things you worry about with a team that is kind of pieced together is, can you have the chemistry? And I don't really have that much question that you're going to – or I don't have a question that you're going to deal with that, because I think you have such good leadership around the team. So that's kind of a cliche answer, but it's something I believe will be a major strength for this team.
All right, go ahead, Clint.
I'll give you the weakness in a minute.
I think the strength, I think you have a lot of strengths, but I think the one that you will be the best at is there's a reason why there's hype around the unit, and I think it'll be not just your ability to get after the quarterback when you need it, but just to control the line of scrimmage with your defensive line. I think this group is that good, When you have guys like who you just talked to and David Bailey and Romello Height that's over there too, and Skylar Gill Howard, it's not just a really good unit, but all of a sudden it's a deep unit too, because some of the guys that have hung around that you were excited about seeing how they grow up, all of a sudden they're depth pieces for you. And those guys are there too. So I really think the strength will be your defensive line play.
Okay. For me, I think my strength, and I'm kind of going a little bit broader than you guys.
Okay.
I just think you're incredibly talented. I mean, I think
That's
whether
pretty
it's
broad,
skill
but yeah.
position, whether it's the trenches like Clint was talking about there on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
I think you've improved your talent level in the backside of your backfield, your backside of your defense. I just think you're really talented. I think you've got a lot of weapons, options to throw the football to. I just think just plain and simple, and it's kind of a boring answer, to be honest with you. I think, I think I like what Clint was talking about a little bit more, but it's just that you're really, really talented.
You can't really argue it.
Yeah.
On paper, I know we're biased in Lubbock, Texas, but I think if you really had a truth serum for every Big 12 coach, Jamie, and asked them who was the most talented or just best overall team, who has the best overall roster, I think the majority, if not all, would tell you it resides in Lubbock. So, I can't argue that at all. Man, I'm trying to figure out a weakness, and I'm not trying to be, oh, you're so good, you don't have any weaknesses. But when I'm looking at this team, I guess your weakness, it's one of those things, until we see it, I will probably still lean towards the offensive line being a weakness.
Okay.
I don't know that. I think we hear so much about how much you got better on the defensive line, and I think you did get better on the offensive line, but it may be a weakness by default. You could still have a B-plus graded offensive line, but that might be the weakest on your team, weakest position group. Don't know.
Okay.
I just think your biggest weakness is that you care too much. You have so much love in your heart.
It's a quote from The Office, Jamie. I knew that was gonna surface with Clint.
I'm trying to stay away from the kicking game because it's still
what about the
just
kicking
going
/ punting game?
It's still just going off of one example.
Yeah.
If that might be more of just like what's the concern right now, because we just didn't get to see it very much, and the one glimpse we did, it was pretty horrifying to look at. But if I said what your weakness could be, I'm not trying to dodge the question either, but I think maybe a combination between still needing to prove it with your offensive line, chemistry with that group, some guys trying to make the jump, but the combination specifically of them and then a young core of running backs. Can they gel together with the running game consistently? I think they can. I think you'll be fine there, but if I was picking something, that might be one thing that I go to.
Okay, I think your answer was good, Clint. It was on my list of ones that I was thinking, but I'm just going to go with the new coordinators, so many new players. Just how is that going to all mesh together? And then you kind of brought that up early on in this conversation.
Sure.
But I just wonder about I feel like it's going to take a little time, and luckily you have the time being Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Kent State, and
should be Oregon State.
Oregon State, right?
Yep.
To kind of figure that out.
Right.
But I think it's going to take a little time. So I just think that's dealing with so much new.
I think that is a fair question. And again, I think I said this with, I don't know who it was. Who knows at this point. I said it earlier this week or last week. I think you have the perfect coach in place when it comes to being able to mesh new faces.
Yeah,
a bunch of new people, and probably maybe the best one that is in place to deal with egos and things that come with big contracts and big amounts of money. Because, we heard Lee Hunter talk about it. He really does feel like there's that family thing. I mean, he reiterated that over and over about the feel and how it's different there. So that's why I guess it's not as big of a concern. Something you touched on, the newness of your coordinators, does still have me nervous. Nervous is probably strong because of how many others are replacing it in the Big 12. But coordinator turnover always takes time.
Yeah.
Now, how much time? Is it the first 2 weeks of the season that you can work through your issues like you're talking about when you don't have to worry as much? Or is it the first, well, you got to get hit in the mouth by Utah or something where it's like, oh, okay, we really need to get this in check. So I don't know. But I think, Jamie, there have been a lot of seasons where you ask this question and you're like, well, I can pick from this
yep.
on the negative side, on the weakness side, and it's hard to pick a weakness out right now.
As like as bad as you were in pass defense last year.
Sure.
And we didn't pick up defensive backfield.
I'm not going to do that because you got so many proven guys back there. Now, it may be still not the strength of your team, but it's got to be better than it was last year.
Yeah.
Only room to go up there.
Yeah, no doubt.
It is the bottom line as we roll on from Big 12 Media Days here at the Star in Frisco. Our coverage presented by Accurate Air.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.